Hey everybody, welcome to Real United States and welcome to the 2016 Blossom Kite Festival. We're here on the National Mall. We're standing right next to the Lincoln, or no. We're standing right next to the Washington Monument, down from the Lincoln Memorial, between those two structures. And welcome to America's Front Lawn, incidentally. And this is an annual event that's been going on. This is the 50th year. This happens to be the legacy of the Smithsonian Kite Festival that started, 1966, I guess? 1967. But they're celebrating 50 years of it this year. And you see behind me a lot of people have come out for this event. Now, we've had some rain this morning. I think things are getting off to kind of a slow start. But the rain is finally cleared out. It's just afternoon. Now, right now, they're having an adult kite making competition. So that's going to end around 1. They're going to start flying some of these kites. There's going to be different categories, and we're going to try and pick up some of these beautiful kites for you. And I'll probably just lay down some music so we can just sit back and enjoy the kites. I don't know a great deal about kite flying. I flew one as a child a few times, and that was it. Some people really get into it. They do massive, multiple kites and things. So I noticed that there's a group of young people here behind me in camouflage fatigues. These folks, given the insignia on their kites, are from the Civil Air Patrol, and they have some little bit larger kites that they're probably going to fly sometime here real soon, and we'll try to catch some of that. So everybody out here having a really good time. It's a little coolish, but not real cold, but everybody seems to be in very good spirits. You can see they've set tents up here for some of these events, like building kites and things like that. And you see, as I said, off at the distance, right on the other end of the yard, is the Lincoln Memorial. So really a beautiful setting, nice place for this, and a lot more people out today than I thought would be, given the rain that we had this morning. So come along and let's see what we can see at the 2016 Blossom Kite Festival.
Thank you, Jim. Unfortunately, I don't have their names. I only have their numbers. We didn't discriminate. We just went by numbers only.
Okay, we're lining up. This is the 2016 Blossom Kite Festival. Thank you guys for joining us. Love and life. We'll have a kite competition going on for those who love to make kites. And also over on our family field, we're having what's known as the bowl races. This is where youngsters get hold on to basically a parachute, and they run.
Of you trying to get oriented to where things are going on. Down close to 17th Street is the Family Kite Field, and then the row of tents that mark festival operations and first aid. And then the demonstration field is between the festival operations tent and the Washington Monument grounds. Boundaries are the sidewalks and the roads. So for your safety, of course, we ask you to stay outside of the roped-off areas, stay on the sidewalks if at all possible. The Kite Club display area is over between the two sets of sidewalk.
Bev, you want to help watch my back? Bev, you want to watch my back so I don't run over anybody. Oh, the light is just atrocious. So I don't know if you've ever actually tried to video a kite before, but it is not near as easy as it sounds. They're kind of all over the place. And to make matters worse, the gray skies are back and they're just not letting up for us. So it makes it very hard to track these things against this very gray sky without any decent light. We're doing the best we can. But here is a beauty. I got it.
The parafoil kite that you mentioned a few minutes ago is a very soft kite, a little bit like the trick parachutes that the Army Knights use, the parachute jumping team.
Indeed, that's what it is. It's a box delta. Blowing the point of that delta makes it go forward. Hey, John's getting that, dragging up again, and now the tail's off the ground. Way to go, John. Nice. As I was saying, when you have a delta-shaped kite, the triangular kite, and it starts to turn and head towards the ground, your inclination is to actually pull on that line. Don't do that. Let line out. That triangular-shaped kite will then take that slack, right itself, and you'll be able to pull on the line again to save it from going into something, say, like the trees. So again, when your kite delta shape, the triangular shape is flying and it starts turning in a direction you don't want it to, namely towards the ground, go ahead and let line out. Do not pull on the line. Take the tension off by letting line out.
Some of the same designs that we're about to fly out here in our Kites of the Decades demo. These are some reliable designs. We don't need to mention that they're old because the kite design can work. All right, Mike Van Meer's got a 11-foot delta flying right at the
It's going to stay up. The wind is good right now. As Will was saying, check it out. If you look up towards the United States Capitol, you can see, I don't know, I think we're past dozens and go more toward like hundreds of kites in the sky. For me, it's a great sight. I love seeing lots and lots of kites. As the wind picks up, so the kites will go up. If you've got a kite, go ahead and fly it. The wind is sufficient. If you need a kite, we've got a kite sales tent right over here next to the sound stage. And we were also doing some kite making earlier.
As Jim said, if you have a kite, go ahead and give it a try. Some kites will fly in this wind, some take less wind, and some take more. It all depends a little bit on the design. A lot of times the commercial kites are made for a little heavier wind. Most of the sails seem to be in the beach areas where there's consistent. Yeah, big pink and black kite with the long pink tail is the Peter Powell, 75 era. Those long flowing tails are what attracted a lot of people to kite flying, and sometimes they would put multiple of those kites together in what's considered a train or a stack, and you'd have all those tails flowing behind the kite.
Last I heard, I don't know if he's moved anytime soon, but this is a beautiful kite. It's a soft kite. It's like a foil. The air enters and inflates it as if it's a balloon. Martin has made a number of other soft kites. He's made a torso shaped like the torso of a soccer player, complete with a soccer ball. But in this case, he's also done leg designs with gym shorts wearing and a bare skin. This is Natalie's legs. It's a little bit different. It's much more unique. It's a soft kite. Indeed, it flies on its own. This was designed back in 1982. Again, Martin Lesser from Bristol, England. It's owned by Mr. John Burkhart. So here, I'd like to make a quick announcement to local kite flyers from Wings Over Washington and Maryland Kite Society, Richmond Air Force. We've got a bag of these kites, and we know you guys know how to fly them. Looking for some kite flying expert volunteers from the local kite clubs. We could use your help putting some of these kites up in the air, the kites of the decades. So Wings Over Washington kite flyers, if you don't mind, we've got some, I know, one-string kites. You're not used to a lot of it because most of you are sports kite flyers, but we could use your help out here. I want to get as many kites up in the air as we can. The wind is just right. My wife Karen's going to launch it for us. This is Blackfoot's Magic Gourd. Beautiful kite.
Is that guy right there?
A flat kite.
Yeah. He was doing it like, I don't know, what, 20 feet off the ground for a while. And when the
The tail acts as an anchor, keeping that flat kite, which would be normally pretty unstable. Doesn't have a point, but it does have two bowed spars in it.
He's right.
A dihedral, if you will. Much like a diamond has a dihedral in it to have the wind deflect off both sides, so too does this flat kite. Those two bowed cross spars.
Jim, take a look over to your right. We've got another Delta kite, but this is approaching the size of a hang glider. I believe this is a 20 or 19 foot wide Delta kite. Delta is the third or fourth letter of the Greek alphabet. Looks kind of like a triangle, and that's why these kites are given that name. Very much like the Greek letter Delta.
Yes, that's a 19-foot Delta, produced in the 1990s, I believe. One of the local manufacturers produces this kite. You can buy one of these. This isn't a homemade kite. This is something you can buy at a retail store. Really, truly supplies quite a remarkable amount of pull. So you'll want to definitely keep safety in mind when flying a kite this large. When the wind picks up, it's going to pull pretty hard. Our buddy Gary's flying it on what, 500-pound test now? Yes, that's right, 500-pound test line. You want to have something that's relatively thick so that you have something to hold on to. A thin line pulling this hard would be very dangerous. Deflate. So we're going to let them get the tails. I believe what we have here is a sea creature of some sort. Black and red kite that's going to center in the corner. We have a kite set of Hana on the field. Just walking off. Oh, ooh, Hana. Go away.
This is inflatable kite. There's actually a couple of them that are longer or larger than this one.
Hey, Will, I just let go of what's known as a Buffalo Cody kite.
Is that the
Buffalo
red
Cody
one right
style.
over top of you, Jim?
Yes, the red one, cellular, made by Extreme. And yes, this is a kite from 1870. That's an old kite, an old kite design. This one, of course, was built a little bit earlier, back in 1979. But the actual decade this is from is from the 1870s. It was originally designed, believe it or not, for military purposes to lift men. A man-lifting kite. This is a smaller version of the original, and that original had such force when it was flown that indeed you would use it in military purposes to lift someone to do a little reconnaissance quietly. Indeed, why, it's a friendly octopus. There it goes. This is an octopus designed by Peter Lynn. It's doing pretty well.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a lost and found item that you wish to turn in or to identify, need to go to the Festival Operations Tent. That's where they're collecting lost and found items, and you may go by there to claim any items that you may have accidentally misplaced.
Peter Lynn is actually from New Zealand, and he designs more than just this octopus. He's got one that's probably twice his size, and one that's actually 3 times his size, called the overlarge octopus. He also has made a number of extremely huge single-line kites, single-string kites. One that actually is owned by one of our
Well, the lighting really doesn't want to cooperate today. We've got a little patch of blue sky right here now, but by and large it's just socked in all around us, a lot of very gray sky. So it's making filming this very, very difficult. But I don't know if you can really even see this, but there are literally dozens and dozens and dozens of kites now in the air all around me. And it's pretty impressive, but it's something you kind of need to be here to see with the human eye. I don't really think we can capture it and do justice with the camera. But all kind of kites, all people of all ages, unbelievable. So it's pretty cool. Everybody seems to be having a very nice time about it, despite the weather. And I'm disappointed that we can't get better sun so we can go ahead and really capture this. Hopefully we've caught enough footage to give you an idea of some of the kites that are here today. But I hope you've enjoyed the 2016 Blossom Kite Festival here on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. If you haven't already, I encourage you to pick subscribe and come along for the adventure. If you got questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. And as always, thank you for watching.